Hi everyone, it's Amy from YoSoBoHo. I thought I would take you with us to an estate sale that we visited last weekend in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. The house was built in 1907. It was really cool to walk through. I started recording upstairs. They had a ton of this candlewick, imperial glass candlewick, both upstairs and downstairs. I just noticed this Chippendale dresser. It's beautiful. The furniture wasn't that badly priced. I think I'll show some in another area. But the smalls, the china, this jasperware, Wedgwood jasperware, I mean, those pieces are way overpriced. Some neat prints. Some of them were even signed and numbered in the house, but nothing that was overly exciting. I tend to look at art, just for my own. I like to hang originals. I'm not that big a fan of printed stuff. I'm also not huge into ephemera. I know a lot of people like photos and old papers. I think I was checking out the lamp there, but you're probably screaming, "What's in those boxes?" These two girls were cute. Those prices were probably the lowest. I think $3 each, $5. I mean, those were low prices in this house. Most everything. We were joking because if something didn't have a price on and we took it to, oh, that little Celadon piece there I bought. I'll share with you at the end things that I picked up. But anyway, we were joking that every time we took something downstairs to get priced, she would say $15. So after a while, it was like, am I going to make the trip to go find out what this is or just assume it's $15? So much stuff was not priced. There was a ton of stuff in this house. Some of it really old, a lot of it not so old, but lots of interesting things. And the house itself, I just couldn't get over how beautiful the house was. It needs a lot of work. Look at that old heater. I mean, my gosh. I think all the dolls on this couch were $15 a piece, and I really liked her. But for $15, too much. Yeah, you'll notice some of the prices were just, oh, she's a little creepy. And I loved this. This is a hand-painted piece, but for $35, I mean, I guess maybe some of the pieces for, collectors. Oh, this is crazy. $250 per page. Medieval sheet music. Now, I know these have value, but to just, they're just kind of thrown there. They're upstairs away from everybody. If they're really worth $250 a page, I would have had them somewhere where I could keep an eye on them and, I don't know. Some of the stuff just didn't make sense. I like this fan. Didn't have a price, so I assumed it was $15. This for $10, I may have picked this up. This is a little hair receiver. I may have picked that up for myself. I did consider it. It was cute. See, this dresser, $125. It wasn't in the best shape, but for $125, that's a pretty good deal. I honestly think that the woman who was running this estate sale and pricing things, maybe there was more of a sense of urgency on the furniture over selling the smalls. And maybe, the second day of the sale, maybe they were going to have all the smalls at half off. So they were just trying to make as much as they could on the first day at full price. I'm really interested in how they run estate sales and how that all works. I imagine it's a lot of work, but as I'm learning, I just think it's interesting. And this house was interesting. Oh, you can see some water damage up there. The house really did need a lot of work, but somebody I hope gets it when they put it up for sale and really, redoes it. These quilts were beautiful. I don't think I show the prices on these. I did see two of them, but they wanted, I think, 300 per quilt, and that was steep. Here's a really pretty clawfoot tub full of newer linens. I think there were a few old things in there, but I also think there was a sign on the wall above them that said like two for $15, or each one was $8. Yeah, I mean, an $8 kitchen towel. It's crazy. The bathroom was cool though. That old sink and the tub, the built-ins. This was on the third floor, and look at that big chamber pot. Thunder mug. That old ashtray, that was a mid-century modern ashtray. They wanted 20 for it. That's, too much for resale. This room, I really think this may have been a maid's quarters or a servant's quarters. I love those jut outs. And this bed was neat. Probably early 1900s. Spindle style. Really old mattresses on there. And I like this piece. This was handmade. I think they only wanted 20 for it, but the way that it was assembled, it was a little, the cuts and stuff around the edges were weird. And although it was electric, 20. Although it was electric, it was really old. I'm not even sure it would work, so I passed on it. Is that somebody barefoot? I don't know who that was. I did like those pieces. They had a lot of dance stuff in the house. I ended up with a piece of dance. That was a little corner shelf. It was beautiful, but it was broken. A lot of stuff up here on the third floor was broken. There were some things that I got excited about when I saw the price tags, and until I realized that they were broken. This is an old primitive piece. I think I turned around to show it to my aunt. So I apologize. It's a little off camera there. This was cool. Little bassinet made out of a barrel. I don't think it was all that old. That was neat, but I don't think anybody buys those anymore. And I don't, oh yeah, the fireplace. Check that out. That's on the third story. I wonder if I caught the price here. These wheels, I mean, they look cool. They're kind of, museum 125. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. These to me are more museum pieces, and if you have a huge room in a big old house, I guess, that might look cool, but not a lot of people do. I was just trying to get some of the details of the house on film. This room, you can tell just by the way my lighting kept being affected. It was kind of dark up there. That was a neat piece. That little lantern. This turned wood piece. No cushions or anything on it, but I bet that was beautiful. Anybody need a enamel urinal? We have lots, and a bedpan. My aunt's just showing me an old boot jack there. I'm not sure what this was. Some painted piece of wood came off of something. And this was an old photo album with no photos, but it was cool. Sorry for the camera angle. There you can see the whole thing. This old trunk was cool. Not in great shape though, and for $65, that's too much. I like this little corner table here, but it wasn't very stable, and I really love the looks of this piece here, but as you can see, it's completely busted up, both the pitcher and the bowl. But look at that hand painting, is just beautiful. And then these pieces were also pretty, but you can see here 7 pieces, they wanted $120. Just too expensive. I wasn't really interested in that. I don't see a price on the table. As you'll see on this wall, there was a couple more pieces. And this, I chuckled, this is actually a Wallace nutting. If you watch Crazy Lamp Lady, Drew loves these pieces. They've bought, Jocelyn and Drew have bought a few of these and sold them. $45 is not bad on that. I see they go for over $100 usually, but, and this is cool. I just bought a gramophone, so to see all these Victrolas was neat. Books of 78s, I believe. And these were just boxes of sheet music. I love the design on some of the covers. You could tell they're older. They wanted $200 for all. So that may have been a treasure trove for someone. Okay, so now we're downstairs. This is the room that I started in when we first got there. It's a dining room with these beautiful built-ins. That piece right there. You could see they had some gorgeous pieces in there, but they're just, the prices are ridiculous. I loved the look of this piece. It had a very cool Art Deco look. I checked it over. I considered it. I think they wanted $15 for it, but that's flashed on paint and it just didn't look right, so I passed. Oh yeah, and this little milk glass piece, pretty much all the gold was worn off. $2 was a great price for that. I probably should have picked it up. I don't know if it's a biscuit jar or what it is, but 65 was steep. I thought it was beautiful. They had lots of crystals, and this chair, that's a little rocker. I don't know what they sold it for, but I missed out on that piece. They had this Haviland set, you can see, for $1,000. It was a big set, all very well taken care of. I did get a couple of cats off that cat corner piece right there that I'll share with you. This room was just gorgeous. Here's the other full set that they were selling, also for $1,000. Copeland Spodes Tower. Beautiful pieces, but man, pricey. And here is the haul. I actually got a couple more things that I forgot. There was a lot of shopping this weekend. This piece right here you saw on the video, maybe just a sneak peek. It's beautiful, like celadon glazed pot. I love the handle, this wood inserted handle. So pretty. I'm drawn to things that are, multimedia. So ceramic and wood, wood and metal, those are things that I'm just drawn to. Now, I recognize the name, one of the names on the bottom of this pot. This Harold Wesley Hunsicker. I recognized Hunsicker. I knew I had seen that on something else, and I'll show you a couple of his works. He actually had another signature. It's like an HH with a W underneath it. And I have no idea who Clarence W. Merritt is, although I did find his name on a list of instructors at Alfred University. Alfred University, I looked up, is like the #1 ranked ceramic art master's program in the whole country. So obviously two, master potters, maybe they came together at some point. I can't find any other pieces out there that show both of these names. So this is an exciting piece for me. It will go into my art collection, and hopefully I will continue to learn more. Harold Hunsaker was, I believe, born in 1904, and he died in 1990. And yeah, he's an Ohio listed artist from the Cleveland area. So, beautiful piece. Love the color and love the shape. And like I said, I'm just really excited to have this one. I also want to say the piece itself is really heavy. It's very well constructed. And before I go on, I too want to address that I know in the video I talk about the woman who was running the estate sale and kind of point out her inability to value things quite right. I apologize for that. I don't ever want to slander anyone in their ability to value things. I know you have to learn so much and know so much. To do estate sales, there was a ton of stuff there. Expertise only goes so far. So, please don't judge me for being a little judgy. I was just kind of joking that, everything was $15. I ended up paying $8 for this little piece. So that, is exciting. I paid more for this piece, actually. This is a Dansk piece. You may have seen this. It's this popular pattern. It's called Sage something, but it's a sleeping cat. There are two sizes I've seen out there for this piece. One is a smaller version of this. This version sells for about somewhere between $20 and $30. The smaller version, probably half that, around 10 or 12. I paid $15, so I paid the $15. And, it was for me. So I just love the style. I'm a fan of Dansk. I love the styling, the clean lines and everything. And, look at how cute, how sweet this cat is. Her, face and her painting, I was just glad to find it and happy to have it in my home. At some point maybe I'll list her, but I'm in no rush. And then she came out of this cat corner area. I think I pointed the cat corner out. It was in the dining room. And I also found this beautiful little piece. I, again, loved the styling of this. I love the lines. I loved that long tail that kind of curls up there. And the face with that, just simple sunken eye. I don't know. It is signed simply Sonya, Sonya. I have not located any sort of ceramic or pottery maker with that signature yet. So if anybody knows, let me know. I just imagine this will be a nice piece on a windowsill or, tucked somewhere in my house. I only paid a couple of dollars for this, so, eventually it might get resold, but not right away. Now that piece has an interesting story. I picked it up out of a closet on the second floor, and when I did, the lid just toppled right off, fell on the floor, made a big noise, and, maybe partially because I was guilty for dropping it. I stuck it in my box. But, no, truly, it is a really cool, unique studio piece. And that lid is, just kind of cut from the pot itself. Some sort of, jar. Maybe a keepsake. I don't know. Just really cool, interesting, unique. It only sits on there. one way, not that way, that way. So neat look, neat glaze. Love the drip. I'm a big fan of the drip. I love the treatment around the edge there. I love that you can see the construction where they cut it off of the base, off of the spinning wheel. And there's a studio mark there, some of some sort. I can't read it. I'm going to post this on a Facebook studio, on that Facebook studio page, and hopefully somebody can help me identify it. But if not, it's just really coolly. It's really cool construction, and I want to say I think I also paid $6 or $8 for this, maybe $8. In total, I spent about $40 there. Talk about unique. Look at this guy. I found a bunch of him online. Most all of them are in lusterware. They're made in Japan. He's marked made in Japan. I'll show you that in a second. But check him out, how funky he is with his eyeballs sticking out the side of his head. I think he's older than the ones that I found that are lusterware. There we can kind of see the made in Japan pressed in. Yeah, look at the wear. I don't know where he was sitting, but he's kind of grubby on the bottom. And I believe he's a toothpick holder. Somebody at the sale said maybe a ashtray, individual ashtray, but I don't think so. I think he's too cute, and there's really no place to put your cigarette. I think he's a toothpick holder. So he will probably live in my kitchen for a while. I paid $10 for him. The ones that I see online, the lusterware ones, are about between that and about $20. He's older. I think he would probably, and he's, not luster. I think he'd probably get a little bit more. And finally, this was a surprise. This little mini creamer, when I held it up and I asked her how much, I expected her to say 15. She said $1, and I thought, wait, whoa, that's cool. Only $1. It is marked on the bottom, Old Spouter, Nantucket. And I didn't know that this was a thing, but keep your eye out for Old Spouter stuff. This little pot, this little creamer, sold for almost $40 in September of 2018. And I'm seeing some other like sugar and creamer regular size pieces listed currently for like $200. I'll share that information here, but yeah, keep your eye out for this little whale with the little, I don't know if he's that's like coming out of his blowhole or if he's making noise or what, but I guess if he's an old spouter, he's spouting out of his blowhole. So great find for $1. I mean, obviously she didn't know what it was. Like that pot, she didn't know what that was, and that, is probably the most valuable. But this tiny little pitcher, who'd have thought out of everything that this guy would be, a $40 or $50 piece. I didn't, but that's cool. We learn every time we shop. We learn. I was happy with the things I found there. I feel like maybe, I got them because I was there on the first day, but had I been there on the second day, I would have got some probably better deals, but that's okay, because there was an estate sale before this one that, although I didn't record, I will share in my next haul video. So thanks for coming along on this adventure, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.